Tonight on Cronkite News, ASU Volleyball is gearing up for the first round of the NCAA Tournament. We break down what made this regular season unlike any other.
Plus, this Valley High School baseball player has not only committed to the Sun Devils, but he's also committing to expanding his family's MLB legacy.
And congressional races in Arizona have already drawn dozens of contenders. How this upcoming 2024 election season may play out.
And with all that, good evening and welcome to Cronkite News. I'm Matt Venezia.
And I'm Jeff Hinkle. Thank you for joining us.
One of the biggest stories coming out of Sun Devil athletics this year centers around the volleyball team's impressive run. Yeah,
that's right, Matt. They're definitely leaving the Pac-12 with a bang and lots of records to go along with it. Let's take a deeper dive into the ASU volleyball record books. The Sun Devils' 26 wins are the third most all time. They haven't won more than 21 games since 1992. Out of those 26 wins, 18 ended in sweeps, the most ever in a Sun Devils season. ASU also earned 14 conference wins, another program record. And this was all led by first-year head coach J.J. Van Niel. He earned the second best start for a new ASU head coach, going 14-0, and was just named Pac-12 Coach of the Year. So regardless of how the Sun Devils do in the tournament, 2023 will always be an unforgettable season.
It's awesome, right? It's really special, and you know, you never know when you walk in a program. It's going to be short, long. We still have a lot of work to do. You know, we're going to lose some key pieces next year that we got to replace and kind of build from there. But obviously, this is about as good a start as I could have hoped for.
The Arizona Coyotes have had to dance around scheduling conflicts with Arizona State Athletics inside Mullet Arena. The team started the season on a 5-game road trip due to some of these overlapping events, but now they get rewarded with a tough 5-game homestand. 4 of the 5 teams the Yotes will see over the next 9 days have won a Stanley Cup in the last half-decade. Tonight's task, the 2020 and 2021 champs, Steven Stamkos, Nikita Kucherov, and the Tampa Bay Lightning. Next is the team that beat the Lightning in the Cup final that following season, the Colorado Avalanche. The St. Louis Blues hoisted Lord Stanley's Cup in 2019, and they'll take the ice for some mullet magic this upcoming Saturday. The Great Eight and the Washington Capitals won their first cup in franchise history back in 2018. The first of 2 regular season meetings with the Caps is next Monday, December the 4th. And finally, on December 7th, the Philadelphia Flyers, a team that has not made it to the Cup final since 2010, but currently sits in 3rd place in the Metropolitan Division. Lots of playoff experience ahead for this young Yotes group to see how they stack up against some of the NHL's best.
Now moving from the ice to the diamond, Castile High School baseball brothers Landon and Dallas Hairston come from a large baseball family. Their goal is to become the first 4-generation MLB family.
That's right, and Cronkite News reporter Danny Stepanovich has more on what it's like for the young generation to try and crack the pros in order to carry on their MLB legacy.
Growing up behind the shadows of their father, uncle, grandfather, and great-grandfather in Major League Baseball didn't cause brothers Landon and Dallas Hairston to shy away from the biggest of stages, but instead inspired them to dream big.
They've always had a love for the game, being around the clubhouse like I did growing up, the way my dad was with me. In no way do they feel that they have to play baseball.
Scott says he never pushed them to pick up a bat and mitt, but maybe baseball is just in their DNA.
If I can't really see myself sitting behind a desk and working that, I'd much rather be out on the field doing what I love.
The brothers haven't folded under the pressures of having the Hairston name, but use their long lineage of baseball players to learn from the best.
Looking at the success they've had, looking at all the accomplishments they've had throughout their lives, and seeing that it is really possible, that your dreams can come true.
The brothers' family tree has shaped them into who they are today. Hardworking, calm and collected ball players who won't fold under pressure.
I really like the pressure. I don't take it in a negative way. I take it as that's something that I want to do, and that's what I'm looking forward to do, is representing my name and playing professional baseball.
Landon's hopeful path to the pros will go through Arizona State University after officially signing with the program last week. The future Sun Devil helped Castile capture a state championship after leading his team in batting average, hits, RBIs, and doubles. Now, Dallas looks to lay the foundation of his baseball journey this upcoming season in his first action at the varsity level.
That's one of my dreams, going out on that field and seeing my brother across from me, it's been a dream of ours for a while. So having that, our family be the biggest family, has been on my mind a lot.
But no matter what happens, the Harrisons don't want their name to be defined by the success of making it to the majors.
When I think about my family lineage, that name, I'd like for it to be remembered for a family that was devoted to hard work, not just baseball.
These family values, strengthened through generations of Harrisons, will stick through Landon and Dallas on and off the field. In Queen Creek, Danny Stepanovich, Cronkite News.
Cardinals linebacker Jesse Lucchetta had an interesting morning on his way to State Farm Stadium on Sunday. And Matt, he got a flat tire on his way to the stadium, and luckily, he was able to make it to a gas station.
That's right, but Lucchetta noticed some Cardinals fans filling up their tanks at the same gas station. The story gets better as Lucchetta tells you what happens next.
So as I'm sitting there, I look to my right. I see a family. They're in Cardinals gear. It looks like they're going to the stadium, so I'm like, I have absolutely nothing to lose. Pull my window down, I just yell out, "You guys going to the stadium?" He looks at me a little crazy. He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I'm a player. I got a flat tire. Can you guys help me out? I need a ride to the stadium." Walks back to the car, talks to his wife. He's like, "Heck yeah, come on."
Matt, we're at the point in the NFL season where some teams decide if they should focus on the playoffs or potential draft picks. And even with the Cardinals projected to finish with one of the worst records in the league, they're not giving up that easily.
That's right, and our Ryan Bunnell was in Tempe and heard how they want to approach the rest of the season.
Stopping the run game has been an issue for the now 2-10 Arizona Cardinals all season. They rank second to last in the NFL in rushing yards allowed and third to last in rushing touchdowns allowed. And the Rams took full advantage of this with 228 yards and a score in the ground game. Despite the 23-point loss, this Cardinals team still believes they can beat any other team in the league. But injuries and a lack of execution isn't helping the cause.
For us to function how we want to function and win games, we got to be more consistent with what we're doing, because we show at times that we're consistent, and we put that together for 60 minutes, which we haven't done a ton this year. That's what we're striving for, but we can beat anybody.
Not many other people who are outside of, the locker room or, our realm or, in the fight with us see the value in that potential. And, it's up to us to prove that, and it's up to us to show that, and that's what keeps us going. We know what we are, we know who we are, and we just have to show that.
Arizona is one of only 2 teams with a bye week in week 14 or later, which certainly doesn't help the NFL's busiest injured reserve list get healthy. The Cardinals take on the Pittsburgh Steelers next week before a much-needed week off. In Tempe, Ryan Bunnell, Cronkite News.
Coming up next, sports like football and basketball are huge revenue generators, but one successful ASU team is struggling to raise money.
That's right. We'll have more on how this group of ladies is doing their part off the ice to keep their program alive.
And it has finally cooled down here across the Grand Canyon State. We'll take a look at the lowest lows we can expect throughout the rest of the week.
And that's the way it is. Monday, September.
Newscasting has changed a lot since the time of Walter Cronkite. That's why here at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism, you can learn the studio production skills of today in real time. Whether you want to work audio, direct, technical direct, design graphics, or you can even run the floor. It's all part of the Television Production and Graphics Lab here at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism. We're going on in 3, 2...
Did you know newsrooms today are looking for bilingual journalists? Cronkite Noticias prepares you to cover diverse communities. In Cronkite Noticias, you will obtain an unforgettable experience.
Pales como este van a tumbar.
Cronkite Noticias.
And develop your skills with the latest technology.
Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communications Phoenix Sports Bureau provides students with hands-on learning experiences and opportunities in sports journalism. From covering local high schools, colleges, and the pros, students get the opportunity to go live from our Facebook shows covering local, collegiate, and pro sports in the Valley. From digital reporting, broadcast, social media, and producing, there's opportunities for all. For more, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
Welcome back. Despite achieving much success, Arizona State women's club hockey team still face many challenges raising money to pay off most of their expenses.
Cronkite sports reporter Trey Matthews spoke with a coach and some players to learn more about the uphill battle.
Over the past year, the women's hockey team of Arizona State has seen a lot of success. They were consistently ranked in the top 10 of the ACHA standings, clinched the WWCHL championship, and even qualified for nationals for the first time in program history. However, despite all of their achievements, the team only received $7,500 from the university, which is a budget cut compared to last year, according to head coach Lindsay Ellis. While they are a club team, Ellis explained the difficulty of trying to obtain funding since the expenses are significant, especially the cost of limited ice time in Arizona.
We have player dues. We have the highest for ACHA women's, mostly because of our travel and ice costs. So when you look at other teams within the ACHA, they're part of their athletic departments. Even, University of Michigan's a ranked team too. They're a huge school. They are also a sport club team, but they get their ice paid for. Liberty's a sport club team. They get their ice paid for. So there are a lot of differences between university sport club departments, and that's the reason why we are treated differently.
Sam Murphy is one of 8 international players on the roster. She originally hails from Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, and has to pay for international tuition, which is considerably more expensive compared to in-state and out-of-state tuition. On top of all that, she's also paying for the other necessities in order to play hockey.
We play player dues in little installments throughout first semester. That adds up to about $5,000, and that goes towards all of our team equipment like gloves, helmet stickers, jerseys, socks, pant shells, all that stuff, and also goes towards our plane tickets because we are the most Western team in the ACHA. We have to fly to the majority of our games. So we have to shell out money for those plane tickets, for buses once we get to those cities, and hotels, things like that.
A team like Adrian College in Adrian, Michigan provides a lot of funding toward their club teams, so players don't have to pay in order to participate. Whereas the ASU players don't even have their own locker rooms or off-ice trainers. They rely on team-ran fundraisers in order to receive the extra funding. Despite the challenging circumstances, the players still remain committed to the process.
Every school has their own kind of situation, and I think that would it be great to be funded by the school? Yeah, that would be amazing. We would really appreciate that, and I think it would be great for the program. But things like that take time, and it's a process, and the fact that we have such a large team willing to commit to this team and pay those funds that need to be paid, I think that just proves our dedication.
There has been a lot of great changes that are happening around us. I mean, we're here in this, beautiful ice arena, and we're very grateful for all the things that we've gotten. I hope that, when I finish my time here, that our team continues to grow traction and support that we need to, better grow as a team.
The players hope that they will one day be allowed to wear the ASU fork on their jerseys and officially be titled ASU Women's Hockey, but getting there is a work in progress, and they hope to win more titles in order to bring more attention toward their program. In Tempe, Trey Matthews, Cronkite News.
It's been pretty cool in the morning around the valley, and it's about to get even colder.
Yeah, that's right, Matt, and even a chance or two of rain this week. Sienna Monet joins us now with what we can expect.
Let's take a look at this Tuesday evening. We're sitting at about 70 degrees at 7 p.m. and then we're going to drop all the way down to 64 at 10 p.m. Taking a look at our low temperatures for this Wednesday, it's going to be quite chilly here in the valley with 52 in Phoenix, 47 down in Tucson, and then 26 up at the Grand Canyon, 37 in Page, and 25 in Window Rock as our lowest low. For our high temperatures for this Wednesday, it's going to be in the 70s here in the valley with 73 in Phoenix, 73 down in Tucson, and then up in the high country, we're going to be in the 50s with 58 in Sedona, 54 in Payson, and then 47 up in Flagstaff. We're going to be in the 60s on the west side of the state with 67 in Bullhead City. For our 8-day cast, we're going to be in some really nice weather. It's going to be 65 on Friday for our high. We're going to have a 20% chance of rain, so it's going to be really nice to go out and about or go for a hike. And then looking into the rest of the weekend, we're going to have a high of 65 on Saturday with a 10% chance of rain, and then followed by some nice clouds moving on through for this Sunday and a high of 67. For your work week next week, we're going to be in the 70s once again with 76 on Tuesday and then 77 on Wednesday as your high with the low of 51. I'm Sienna Monet from the Cronkite Weather Center. Back to you.
Thank you, Sienna. With state abortion laws in the hot seat of political debates nationwide, Governor Katie Hobbs is pushing to protect Arizona's right to an abortion.
Kenji Ito joins us now from the Cronkite newsroom to tell us how she hopes to achieve this.
Yeah, thank you, Matt and Jeff. Coming up next, I'll bring you the latest on today's event with Governor Katie Hobbs. And what you need to know with veterinarians and canine lovers on high alert due to the mystery illness affecting dogs across the country.
Three, two, one. Cronkite News. Get real professional experience in areas such as reporting, broadcast editing, and behind-the-scenes production, such as technical director and audio.
Kill the mics.
Or go out in the field and cover important local stories.
Learn and master the English language.
In a fun, welcoming atmosphere. Cronkite News. The future starts now.
Here at the Walter Cronkite School, students produce award-winning content that focuses on health disparities in underserved communities and how to turn things around. In Cronkite News and Cronkite Noticias, students cover stories that affect people of color, the LGBTQ+ community, people with disabilities, and others across the Southwest.
We highlight big problems that are often overlooked in communities that are underserved.
Those stories not only inform and educate people about the challenges, but we work hard to highlight potential solutions. In the Cronkite Agency, students work to connect with community members through social media campaigns in English and Spanish.
Being a Hispanic myself, it's nice to be able to give back to my own community.
Find more of our health coverage at cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
I'm Kenji Ito with a look at the latest headlines across the nation. Governor Katie Hobbs held a press conference earlier today to sign a petition in support of abortion rights. Cronkite News reporter Aaron Gonzalez was at the event today and joins us now from the digital assignment desk to tell us what the governor is trying to accomplish.
Hey, yeah, that's right, Kenji. The initiative called the Arizona Abortion Access Act would put the constitutional right to an abortion on the November 2024 ballot. Hobbs signed the petition surrounded by about a dozen people carrying signs in support of abortion rights. In her statement, Hobbs said reproductive rights are about individual rights and health care. She also said it's not a partisan issue, and the governor was joined by Republicans and independents in support of the petition. Another person in attendance was Hobbs' daughter, Hannah Goodman.
I'm really glad that I was able to actually do something. It felt like it was something that could actually lead to real change, and that was really powerful, I think.
A woman's right to choose her medical care is important. I'm a Christian minister, and my belief is God is a God of choice, and that means you can choose what you need to do to live your life.
The petition needs almost 384,000 signatures by July 3rd to get on the 2024 ballot. From the newsroom, I'm Aaron Gonzalez. Back to you, Kenji.
Thank you, Aaron. Next year's Senate race in Arizona will also be closely watched, with a potential three-way battle between newly independent Senator Kyrsten Sinema, Democratic Representative Ruben Gallego, and Carrie Lake, the 2022 Republican nominee for governor. But it's not the only campaign likely to spark fireworks, as Renee Romo reports from our Washington bureau.
3 failed candidates from 2022, 2 who were here at the U.S. Capitol on January 6th, 1 ex-congressman, and that's just a sampling of over 50 hopefuls who have filed their paperwork so far seeking 4 battleground House seats next year.
Grab your popcorn, pull up your chair, because you're going to be in for a world of fun watching that race.
He was talking about the race to succeed Representative Debbie Lesko, who will not run in 2024. With Congressman Ruben Gallego running for Senate, that's 2 House seats up for grabs. So far, 34 people are lined up to run in the safely Republican and Democratic districts.
Gallego's seat and Lesko's seat are just going to be interesting races because you have some interesting and big personalities in them, but they're not nationally significant because they're preordained.
The national attention will be focused on races for seats held by GOP Congressmen David Schweiker and Juan Ciscomani. They have been identified as among the most vulnerable in the country, with control of the House at stake.
You're going to have those two sucking up a lot of political oxygen because of what's at stake nationally.
While Lesko's and Gallego's successors will likely be determined in the primary, Schweiker and Ciscomani represent much more competitive districts, which gives Democrats a chance to flip 2 Republican seats. Experts say a lot is riding on Schweikert's seat.
Ultimately, Schweikert's seat will be one of the most watched races in the country because the road to the White House goes through Arizona, and the road to Arizona goes through that portion of Maricopa County.
Bentz and others agree that Arizona's House races will be very heated next year.
It's got a little bit of everything, frankly, in this one. It's made for reality TV.
But high-profile races are nothing new for Arizona, with one expert noting that the state has been a battleground for federal elections since at least 2018. In Washington, Renee Romo, Cronkite News.
It's not just Arizona. Every House race will count in 2024, with Republicans defending a narrow 4-vote majority in the 435-member House, with the chance that lead could get even narrower this year if this House votes to oust disgraced New York Republican George Santos. The Supreme Court ruled yesterday that 2 top Republican lawmakers in the state must answer questions in a lawsuit regarding voting laws passed in 2022. The court's decision means House Speaker Ben Toma and Senate President Warren Peterson must testify in the lawsuit brought by voting rights groups. The laws require citizens to prove more proof of citizenship or be removed from voter polls. The 2 congressmen intervened when Attorney General Chris Mays said she would not enforce all aspects of the law. The Supreme Court ruling did not have a written explanation, but lower courts said the lawmakers gave up privileges when they intervened in the suit. This summer, a joint legislative committee formed with concerns over free speech at Arizona universities and the firing of 1 faculty member at ASU. Yesterday, the second meeting came with threats to the Arizona Board of Regents and university funding. Republican Senator and Committee Chair Anthony Curran said Republicans will begin introducing bills targeting ASU funding and the Arizona Boards of Regents next month. The committee alleged that university discouraged 2 events with conservative speakers, but those events were still held at the school. Democratic members of the committee did not attend the meeting as they said the first meeting was an attempt to further spread misinformation and division. And many dogs have been coming down with a mysterious illness. So far, this mystery disease has affected dogs in several states. Symptoms of this illness include coughing, sneezing, nasal or eye discharge, or lethargy. So far, it does not seem to be responding to antibiotics and can result in lasting cases of pneumonia. Experts are telling dog owners not to panic as they urge taking basic precautions like updating your pet's vaccines and decreasing contact with other dogs. That's it for the latest headlines across the nation. In the newsroom, I'm Kenji Ito, Cronkite News. Now back to Matt and Jeff at the desk.
Coming up next, a tunnel collapse in India and the rescue operation that saved them.
After 2 weeks trapped in the tunnel, we'll have how these men got out when we come back.
Find out what's on Arizona PBS at azpbs.org/schedule.
As journalists at Cronkite News, we report on stories that matter to you by focusing on the local impact. We dig deeper and work tirelessly to keep you informed.
Live in Wickerburg.
Live in Los Angeles.
In Cleveland, in Washington, in Louisville.
From Jerusalem.
Live in Philadelphia. From around the world to right here in Phoenix.
At Cronkite News, we report the facts and stick to the truth.
ASU's one and only student-run radio station, Blaze Radio, provides students with opportunities to cover a variety of topics. From music,
this is Sun City Garage,
to sports coverage,
against the Brewers in his last outing, he went
to news.
The bill also gives parents the ability to sue.
And entertainment updates. Blaze Radio offers a fun environment to gain valuable broadcast experience. To find out more, visit blazeradioonline.com.
After more than 2 weeks, all 41 workers who were trapped in a collapsed tunnel in northern India have been saved.
Jeff, that's right. The men had been trapped since November 12th, and rescuers drilled through a mountain to provide an escape route, and they drilled through the last 2 meters of rock by hand. Several ambulances were waiting to take the workers to the hospital, but according to officials, no one was seriously injured in the collapse, and everyone came out healthy. And just like that, Jeff, it looks like our Tuesday crew show is over.
Yeah, man, it's been a pleasure to work with you and everybody in the production room, and that's going to be it for Cronkite News. Thanks for joining us.
And for more Arizona top stories anytime, log on to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.